Chennai Super Kings. Uh, we don't have our friend Karthik joining us. Karthik is, of course, the big Chennai Super Kings fan who's going to join us starting next week. Karthik actually lives in Phoenix and is an ardent cricket fan, just like all of us. Ruturaj Gaikwad, of course, the captain of the Chennai Super Kings. Chennai Super Kings, perhaps along with Mumbai, the most loved IPL team easily. Stephen Fleming continuing the head coaching position, supported by uh, Michael Hussey. So you have a Kiwi and an Aussie as the head coach and the batting coach. Uh, in terms of the retentions, you have Ruturaj Gaikwad, Ravindra Jadeja, Patirana, Shivam Dube, and of course the iconic Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Now, we before we talk, before I pick the brain of Archan in terms of where he thinks the Chennai Super Kings are and where they will end up. Archan, just having Mahendra Singh Dhoni as the wicket keeper, just being there in the field, even if he doesn't score any runs, that is an immense value, isn't it?
You talked about, Doctor, you talked about Mahendra Singh Dhoni and brain, and the only thing sharper than Dhoni's brain is the knife used to cut cake on his birthday, right? So when he retires in probably 2050, he'll still be winning matches just by standing in the dugout. From fan base perspective, the Whistle army, they are so loud that even the duck at the Chepauk will think that it scored a century. And yes, the team has been touted with senior players and senior army, but boy, their captain in Ruturaj Gaikwad, super strong partnership with Devon Conway, have been consistent performers. In terms of their bowling, we'll see the first time, and I'd like to put it out with the team here. Who's the best spinning? Who's the best spinners for the team that they have? Is it Ashwin, Jadeja, and Noor Ahmed, or do we have the likes of Kuldeep and Aksar, and or Varun Chakravarti and Sunil Narayan. So a lot to unpack on the spinning side. Ashwin Jadeja, old is gold, comes back together. Super excited to see them. And a very powerful middle order. Vijay Shankar has come on his own. So has Shivam Dube as a floater. So all in all, a good strength in terms of their weakness. There is fielding, I guess. With I guess the aging stars of their teams, you might see the odd fielding errors, which is kind of important with events like IPL. But inclusion of Rahul Tripathi seems exciting, and in terms of the young and the budding star in Rachin Ravindra, what a player he's already is, and it's going to be in terms of the superstars of the T20 competition.
And of course, uh, Ashwin back in his home. Our Ashwin coming back in Chennai and him coming back. How much will the Chennai Super Kings miss Ambati Raidu, Arshan?
Ambati Raidu was a definite great middle order player, but in terms of and his contributions specifically for CSK were really really important. But in terms of from a replacement perspective, they are thinking Rahul Tripathi, the likes of Rahul Tripathi, Shankar, and Deepak Huda, and or a combination of those with the impact sub might just do the trick for them.
So you are picking them to be in the playoffs, Arshan?
You can never count CSK out with the likes of Mahendra Singh Dhoni, and they would definitely be at the top of the list with in the contention with, of course, their head coach Stephen Fleming.
I have one
Sharvil.
question of Archan.
I,
I have one
Sharvil,
question.
Anand, 1 second. Let Sharvil go and then we'll pose your
yeah,
question. Sharvil, go ahead, please.
I just have one observation that CSK should be really lauded to stick with MS Dhoni, who they know that actually cannot bet higher than number 11 now. But I have seen the effect of Dhoni on other teams. Like last year I'd gone to watch the match of GT versus CSK at Ahmedabad, Motera, and most of the crowd was supporting CSK because of Dhoni. So that is how. And if you see his contemporaries like Yuvraj, who is playing the Masters League, Sehwag, who is a commentator since long, Gambhir, who is Indian coach, maybe younger than Dhoni. So all of them have retired and played the Masters League or playing the Masters, but Dhoni is still there. So they should be really lauded for this.
I have one thing to say for that, where CSK might age, but it never fades.
Yeah,
Professor.
I just want one question of Archan. Archan, I mean, since you're speaking about CSK and championing the cause of CSK, I mean, when will they go beyond, at least on the field of play? When will they go beyond MS Dhoni? They need to actually look ahead, right? I mean, so they can't be relying on MS Dhoni all the time as a franchise that has the kind of following that it has, and it again is a high performance franchise. It has 5 IPL, so in turn 5 trophies, and so I know how do they go beyond that?
It's really hard, right? It's the transitions of the greats. Like how did West Indies transition from Viv Richards? How did India transition from Tendulkar? So until and unless you find those super huge shoes to fill, it's really hard. And the likes of Mahendra Singh Dhoni, not just for not just for CSK, but for Team India, proven captain, World Cup winners multiple times, and a legend in the true sense, right? It's really hard shoes to fill. But time again. It'll be a classic Dhoni when it comes to hanging his boots and will go quietly, but yeah, it's really hard shoes to fill.
But I have just a question to all of you. Does the CSK organization, do you think they would ever have the guts, maybe the wrong word perhaps, to go to tell Mahi that, boss, time to retire, you cannot play anymore? Do you think anybody within the organization can go to Mahendra Singh Dhoni?
I don't. Oh, sorry, go on.
The best way to do that is to tell Dhoni to open. So if he opens, I think
I think one message.
I don't think it's
jokes aside. I think Mohanish, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I don't think it's the question about guts. I think it's the question about economics, and it's the question about pulling fans. CSK as a franchise knows. MS Dhoni, if he retires and if he's not part of the circuit, which knowing MS Dhoni, he won't be like the icon part, or he won't be promoting CSK. He'll just disappear. And once MS Dhoni disappears, I think CSK has that fear that their fan base will start evaporating slowly. I'm not saying every person supports CSK because of Dhoni, but most people do. So I don't think it's about guts. I just think it's about economics.
And plus Mohanish, they got him for so cheap, right? Just what?
Yeah, I mean that this entire new rule was for Dhoni. So
I mean the whole rule was created. It was basically created for him, right?
I agree. I think it's expensive.
No.
Sharvil is asking Dhoni to open.
No. I think his value in terms of the economics I think that Mohanish spoke about is massive. There's no question. I think on the field of play is one thing, but in terms of the thala, Chennai is the you can't think of more passionate fans than Chennai. I think I mean, there's on the economic side of things, immense value. There's no question.
Let's bring in
Right.
Subbu here. Subbu has been very quiet. I think he probably cooked up something in the kitchen and he was having his lunch while we were watching him. But
No,
Subbu,
no.
tell us,
I mean,
anybody can tell Dhoni that boss, ab retire ho jao?
it's very difficult, but it's on the card. It could be next year. But the discussion so far has been extraordinary. So much deep everybody has gone here. Apart from hearing other big video producers like Harsha Bogle and etc., this team is fantastic. I tell you, so much input. Every individual is contributing. I think they are in and out in cricket 24/7.
Well, you are part of this now.
Oh,
Of this
yeah.
elite panel.
Yeah, that's very good. I repent. It's too late, but it's never late. Fine.
No. Yeah, Rohan, you had a point.
So to answer to all the glaring queries or apprehensions, especially to Sharvil Kaka and Panthil Kaka, MS Dhoni landed in Chennai on 3rd of March with a view to start his practice, and he had a coded T-shirt written one last time in code.
Exactly. So I think that this may be his last
questions.
season. Yeah, I believe this may be his last season. In fact, I was going to ask Mr. Archan Mehta that do you think that CSK will want to win it for Dhoni? This likely to be his last season for Chennai as a player.
ऐसे करते करते 5 ट्रॉफी आ गए.
You know,
last season.
Virat Kohli famously said that when India won the 2011 World Cup, that Sachin Tendulkar carried weight on his shoulder for 21 years, and this time it's for us to carry him around. I think they would it would be very, very fitting for the Chennai team, Whistle Podu fans, and the players of CSK to carry Dhoni around on his shoulder to the victory lap.
I think we should not be surprised if Dhoni carries Ruturaj Gaikwad when he retires.
that definitely may be true.
That's a nice one.
No, there was a good discussion on Mahi, and of course, the Indian cricket owes so much to Mahi, and what he has.
No, but
the
I think
amount of
CSK
pleasure.
needs to move on. I think CSK does, as a franchise, as a sporting franchise, as a cricket franchise, needs to move on the field of play. So I think that's just something that one has to acknowledge.
We'll move on to Sunrisers Hyderabad, and Rohan Majmudar is going to be the individual who is going to be following the SRH team throughout this IPL. So over to you.
Oh wait,
Rohan.
I just wanted to say one thing, Nilesh uncle. I think Sunrisers Hyderabad should sponsor Cricket 360 because they are the team who can score 360, So this is like a good team for your channel.
Good
one. But anyway, sorry, go on.
Okay, so if someone asks that you being a KKR fan have opted to review Sunrisers, my answer to that will be that they have 4 Australian players and they are led by the winning captain Pat Cummins of the infamous or famous 2023 World Cup final at Ahmedabad.
Please don't remind that match. Please let us forget that match. Nobody
So,
should that.
Hyderabad, in my opinion, will be one of the top 4 teams because they have the most tremendous and very fiery batting order. Starting with, in my opinion, 2 best openers of the T20 format. Both are young. One is young, Abhishek Sharma with Travis Head, who is having the time of his life in last couple of years, followed by the Indian wicketkeeper who was released by Mumbai Indians. They have got 3 left-handers in the top 3. So that is somewhere they would try to make some changes and get a right-hander play at number 3. The wicketkeeper from South Africa, Hendrick, is having the time of his life. So they are players who are banking on form rather than having stats in their pocket, because in T20 with a pinch of salt you should pick up statistics because it's all about the form and the performance they are giving in the recent times. counts way more than the stats of the last couple of years or 3 years. So they have strengthened their bowling lineup by having the likes of Mohammad Shami, Pat Cummins, and Harshal Patel. Bowlers, three different type of bowlers, and all the three bowlers are well experienced. What they improvise compared to last year is that they got a very experienced leg spinner in Adam Zampa. Last year they lacked a frontline world-class spinner. Now they have Adam Zampa, so they have got their spin area also covered with a good experienced frontline spinner. So what they lack, in my opinion, would be that they don't have a great 5-6-7 or 6-7-8. They have the firepower in the top three. They have got Hendrick as a wicketkeeper, who is the best wicketkeeper batsman in the recent times. But they lack the finishing power at number 6 and 7, in my opinion. But still, the top three wouldn't let the number 6 and 7 expose for maybe more than 3 or 4 matches in the entire calendar. So they are my team to go for the top 4. And if they bowl well, their team has the skills to chase any target and to set up any target.
Rohan, my question to you is that what do you think about Ishan Kishan? I think it's a great acquisition by them.
Great acquisition.
Ishan Kishan, that's the thing I mentioned, that he would be batting at number 3. He has been traditionally an opener for Mumbai Indians for maybe last 7-8 years. Will he be able to adapt that number 3 position? Because it won't be all power play with him. When he used to bat for Mumbai Indians, he was to be the one who opened the innings. So that would be a thing to adjust for him. Also considering that there are 3 left-handers, including him, along with Ravi Sred and Abhishek Sharma. So the way he might be also be to left at number 4, he might have to bat at number 4 with a view to add a right-hander. Do they do that, or they make him bat at number 3 with all the 3 southpaws thrown at the top 3? So Ishan Kishan, in my opinion, would be a great batter, and if he can have a great year, he can also have his place revamped in the Indian setup when he lost along with Shreyas Iyer in the starting of 2023.
And Rohan, what about the player that made Panthil unhappy when he moved away from his team?
Travis Head.
Mohammad Shami?
I can only comment about Travis Head when he plays for SRH. I have no guts to comment anything about him when he plays for Australia, because when he plays for Australia, he does hurt a lot of Indian fans, and we might never be able to get away or get those wounds healed by in any manner. All these bilateral wins or some wins here and there will not soothe or heal the wounds which he left on the November 19, 2023. But yes, Travis Head and Abhishek Sharma are the best 2 openers of any team in the IPL, considering the way they played last year. Also, they scored mammoth 135 in 6 overs in one of the games, which in league format also is the highest score of the power play till date. And I might not be surprised if they break that record again in this year or the year.
I was also referring to Shami. Panthil was disappointed that Shami is no longer part of GT and he has moved to SRH.
Shami is a great acquisition because Hyderabad, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar has been a legend of SRH. He has played here for almost a decade now. And when he left, they had to fill his boots with one of a similar player, an experienced Indian frontline pacer. So in my submission, in my opinion, Shami's addition would be a great addition because he will be bowling the new ball along with Pat Cummins. And not to forget Harshal Patel, the Purple Patel, because he had won 2 purple caps in the last 5 years, will be taking care of the death bowling. So in my opinion, they've got all the bases covered in terms of fast bowling, and they've got Adam Zampa as their spinner. So they will be getting the 5th bowler. They will be going some with Abhishek Sharma, some with the Indian aspiring Nitish Kumar Reddy, who also bowls seam up, and Travis Head. So they have got a very, very balanced side.
And if Adam Zampa needs somebody to go to, he has one of the greatest, Muthaiya Muralidharan, to go and get some coaching tips. Sharvil, please.
Yeah, no. So Rohan was saying that Harshal Patel would be their death bowler, but I remember in one of the games, Jadeja took him for 32 or 34 runs. 1 hour. So I don't know whether that would be.
That
That's also
Harshal,
not enough if you score 360 runs, right? So that's okay.
yeah,
They will
Archan,
score
but
Harshal,
he's that
360.
kind of a bowler who says that you hit me for 60, but I will take 4 wickets of your team. So he is
yeah,
the Ajit Agarkar. Because when I grew up watching Ajit Agarkar, he would go for the cleaners, but he would get a couple of wickets. He would even get Ricky Ponting out, but he would go for 10 overs, 84 and get 3 or 4 wickets. And so he is one of those bowlers who goes for runs, but also gets a couple of important wickets.
yeah. So
True.
that
No, I
was
mean,
about. Yeah, go ahead, Anand.
one, yeah, just I just feel that if there are some players like Jaydev Unadkat, Abhinav Manohar, Rahul Chahar, if these people perform, then I can't I mark them out as a team that could go all the way. If these people, and there's another one, Kamindu Mendes. That's an interesting, what a terrific start he had to his Test career. So if these, so one doesn't know if Kamindu Mendes will start for this particular side with such foreign heavyweights. But if these people, some of these Indian players perform, then SRH could go all the way.
Yeah. No, I think
Very
that's a
strong side.
team to watch. And as Rohan
Yep.
said in his beginning views, his impressions, that opening pair is, any of us would go pay a lot of money to watch them.
Top 4, 5. No, top 4, 5, not just the
4-5.
opening pair. I mean, you have top 4 or 5. You
Absolutely.
include Ishan Kishan in the mix. You have an Abhishek Sharma, Travis Head, Ishan Kishan, Heinrich Klaasen, Nitish Reddy. These are, and you add Pat Cummins, who took Bumrah to the cleaners,
Right.
if you remember. 27
Correct.
run over, if you
Even
remember, right?
Abhinav
So, I
Manohar,
mean,
Abhinav Manohar is a big hitter.
Abhinav Manohar as
Yeah.
well. Absolutely right.
Yeah.
So this is
No, I
He
a
was
think
with DC earlier.
explosive unit.
great observations. Great observations. Last but not the least, the Royal Challengers of Bangalore. Their overall win percentage in the IPL history is about 48%. They were runners
You
up
have
in
given them the
2009, 2011, and 2016. They have 9 playoff appearances in the 17 seasons they've had so far. Mohanish, Virat Kohli has had 2 championships to his name. He has won the T20 World Cup, the Champions Trophy. Is that satisfaction? Abhi, he's like, I'm content. IPL trophy mile nahi mile, it's okay. I mean, I have already won big. So where do we stand with Mr. Kohli and the RCB?
No. I think of course he's content. And me being I've been brought up in Bangalore, and I get a lot of hate from my friends for supporting Mumbai. But the RCB fan craze, unlike the CSK fan craze where it's all MS Dhoni, it is for Virat Kohli for sure, but it is for their franchise. So I think Virat
Yeah.
Kohli does owe a debt to this franchise to at least get one trophy. 2016 they came like painfully close and then they lost, and my friends still haven't healed from those wounds. But coming to this team, and coming to the hunger of Virat Kohli, I think Virat Kohli will be hungry as ever. He's always hungry to score runs. And when he score runs, RCB will all obviously be title contenders. Coming to the team, initially, when I saw this team, I thought RCB again goofed up their auction. But then the day two, and then analyzing this team again, or like looking at this team again, I think they've had a very solid auction. I think they didn't go for those big ticket names, spending 15 plus crores. And I think the most expensive player in the auction was Hazelwood, which was 12.5 crores. Um, and I think as seen with RCB, the batting core is solid. Uh, the one concern could be like their Indian batting core, because even though I'm a huge Devdutt Patikal fan, he's a Bangalore boy. Uh, he hasn't come of age in the sense that his IPL career started very in a great manner, but then he couldn't capitalize on that momentum with Rajasthan. So if you look at the batting, it would obviously be Virat and Phil Salt, maybe Rajat Patidar one, or if they want to play Devdutt Patikal, they'll pay him one. But then you have like these power hitters: Livingston, Jitesh Sharma, Tim David, Krunal Pandya. who's not a power hitter but can do the job. And if they do, if they get Swapnil Singh as a impact sub, he can also be a batter. My one concern is that Liam Livingston, even though he's deemed as this power hitter or like this slogger role, I don't know how I don't know if he will be able to perform because he's a bit hot and cold. If he performs, there's no better side. Sorry, as in like RCB will be able to set good totals or chase any totals. Tim David, I don't have a lot of good things to say about him, even though he's a former Mumbai player, and I'm very happy he left Mumbai Indians. But given his day, I'm sure he can shine. Now coming to one aspect which RCB and everybody in the world or everybody in the cricketing world talks about is their bowling. Being in Chinnaswamy, you need to expect your bowlers are going to be thrashed. They are going to be taken to the cleaners. But right now, they have a very solid bowling contingent with Josh Hazelwood, who's a little uncertain with his injury, but I think he should be back after the first few games. Bhuvneshwar Kumar, who I've been a huge fan of since he started playing. So I'm very happy, and I hope he does well. But, it's his later end in his career, and we'll see how he fares. Krunal Pandya. I think not a lot of people are talking about how good Krunal Pandya was for Lucknow when he bowled for Lucknow. I think he has the lowest economy for a spinner last year. I might be wrong. Maybe someone can fact check me on that. But he would be someone to look out for. And Swapnil Singh had a good season last year for RCB. So both Krunal and Swapnil could be that spinning all rounders who RCB can bank on. And then you have the likes of Jacob Bethel, Romario Shepherd, and Swastik Chikara, who, if a person like Tim David can't come to the foray, they can be his replacement. I think Swastik Chikara I mean, it's an insane stat. He belted, I think, 300 or 500 runs in one of the recent games he played. I don't remember what it was, but there's a lot of eyes on Swastik Chikara. And I just want to mention one thing in terms of fan base. Swastik Shikara was just appointed by RCB a few months ago, and his Instagram has been bombarded by RCB fans. They want him to do well. They want all the smaller names to do well, and I think this fan base is just crazy for their team. And yeah, and one last thing is that if Josh Hazelwood isn't going to play, you have your Nuwan Tusara, who's I think Junior Malinga, and Lungi and Gidi. These two could be solid replacements for Josh Hazelwood if Josh Hazelwood uh, cannot, come to the fore. In terms of their coaching staff, I think Dinesh Karthik is a solid batting coach and mentor. Um, I mean, your head coach is Andy Flower. You can't expect much. You can't expect better than that. Um, and captain Rajat Patidar. Obviously, everybody hoped that Virat Kohli comes again, captains another team for his last few years. But I think Rajat Patidar will have to shoulder a lot of responsibility, and we'll have to see how he bats with that responsibility on his shoulder. But yeah, I think all in all, RCB is a solid side. Could potentially make the top four, and they usually do by hook or crook. But I don't know if they can win the tournament with this side.
Yeah, good
But
stuff. Good stuff, Mohanish, on Swastik. I wasn't aware of the fan base going nuts after him. Sharvil and then Panthil.
Yeah, so my observation for RCB is that Rajat Patidar, I think, is a very surprise selection as a captain because I think he would not be a part of first playing 11 of RCB. So
Oh, you
I
think
was
he won't be?
surprised.
I think Rajat Patidar was one of the best players last season, and he has had an incredible smat and sorry, side smat. I don't know.
Struggling.
I think and he's like one of the best players of spin right now in this country. I mean,
Because
he
when he
could.
played against England in one of the test matches, he looked very, very average. I mean,
I see. In Test cricket. Well, Test cricket is a completely different game.
Uh,
The
One
Panthil
Panthil.
question
against
I
like
have, one question I have for Mohanish.
Yes.
Mohanish, isn't it, isn't RCB mostly about, historically been about Kohli, right? I mean,
Of
this
course, of
side is
course. Yeah, you
always, there's
can't.
so much about Kohli. I think, shouldn't they kind of move beyond that. I mean, even in terms of the way they play the entire as a franchise strategy. I think the idea of making Rajat Patidar the captain is that do you think is that they move in the right direction? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the inner fan in me and fan in everybody wanted Virat Kohli to captain again. And RCB historically has been a side who banks on Kohli's star power and batting power. But I think making Rajat Patidar captain, or in other words, a young gun, a captain, is a step in the right direction, because I think they're grooming players, they're grooming young players. They retain Yash Dayal. And RCB have tried to retain a couple of young players before, Sarfaraz Khan being one of them, and he didn't do as well. So if they've shown so much faith in Rajat Patidar over the years, I think it's a step in the right direction where I hope they stick with him throughout this year, and if he does well, they should stick it with him till the end of this IPL cycle.
I think, as a franchise, they are looking to kind of move on, because they have, very interestingly, in the support staff, they have somebody called player identification manager. They've actually got somebody who is a player identification manager. So they're clearly looking to kind of
Yeah.
identify some players who can move on, who can help them move on. So there's this P-ident, what you see, that's a player identification manager, Malolan Rangarajan. So, I mean, they clearly want to move on and dearly, want to reward their fans, their passionate fans, with a trophy. What their women team did last year. So they would dearly want that to happen this year.
100%, 100%. And I do hope the best for them.
I have one last question for Mr. Mohanish.
Yes.
Don't you think that Virat Kohli is the world's best as far as 50-50 cricket is concerned? But 2020 is something which maybe is not his cup of tea, and sometimes he even plays like a 50-50 in a 2020 game, which has affected the RCB's performances over the years.
Right. I think that's a great point. I think if you look at Virat Kohli in 2016, he was just like a different beast. But over the years, he's had that anchor play style, take a few balls and hit. But I think with the introduction of the impact sub, I think he's got a lot more freedom. If you see his last year's statistics, he actually took that aggressor role. And he himself said that because he knows you have batting till 8 or 9, he can go hammock. And I think even though Virat Kohli might not be an out and out T20 player, which I still think he is, I can't forget MCG 2022. I still think he's like one of the best out there. He might not be a guy who will get you 50 runs of 10 balls or 12 balls or 15 balls, but he's someone who you can bank on for sure.
No, but Panthil, I mean, that's an interesting point you raise. In defense of Virat, completely defense of Virat Kohli, champion cricketer, and a champion up here, right? An absolute champion up here. He has molded himself. If you look at last year, he was playing slog sweeps. So he's brought certain things. He never swept, but he's brought that in. So I think I mean, because he's so tight up here, he's such a champion material up here, I think he will probably want to adapt, and that is something that we saw last year. So that's in defense of Virat Kohli.
And very recently, he won us the T20 finals.
That's right. Yeah.
Mute. Dr. Mehta, you are on mute.
Rohan, go ahead.
Yes, so the only what I, in a larger picture, after 18 years of IPL, what I think is that the Chinnaswamy is not the tailor-made wicket for a player like Virat Kohli, who likes to play with a strike rate of 135 and 140 about. Had Virat Kohli played these 18 years at a ground like a Mohali or a ground like a Delhi, he would definitely have won an IPL for his team single-handedly. But playing at when like Bangalore, where 200, 220 runs are the par score and teams chase 220 in 18 overs, Kohli playing at 135, 140 at times proves costly for Bangalore in few crucial games. That was my inference of.
But if you look at, there is the Virat Kohli effect. If you look at the support staff, there is the Virat Kohli effect. You have a strength and conditioning coach. You have two physios, right? So clearly there is the Virat Kohli effect just in terms of being fit, absolutely fit and up to speed as far as your physical fitness is concerned. So there is clearly that impact that's there, but I think it has to go on into the field of play in terms of cricketing ability. I think that's what they really need from the entire squad.
Now, just to wrap up our show on Cricket 360, I'm going to go around, and I do not need any elaborate explanation. I just need names of two teams that you guys are going to pick for your finalists. This is particularly for Professor. Professor, I just need the names of two teams, no explanations. So we'll start with, I'll come to you last, Professor, so you have enough time to think. Let's start with Sharvil, Majmudar. Your two finalists.
Yeah, so two finalists would be GT and SRH.
GT, SRH. Panthil, Majmudar.
Same, absolutely same. I hope you will also wear GT t-shirt on the final day.
Subbu, your two finalists.
I think CSK and PB, Punjab Kings.
CSK and Punjab.
Wow.
Mohanish?
I think it'd be Mumbai and either SRH or CSK.
No, I need two teams.
Oh, yeah,
Not
Mumbai
three.
and SRH.
Mumbai, SRH. Okay. Rohan?
Probably my wishful thinking, but yes, both
Two
wishful
teams.
as well as yes, CSK and MI.
CS. Oh, CSK, MI. And now, Professor, two names, please.
Well.
There you go. I said two names.
Okay. No, I'm
two names
I'm picking KKR as one of them. I think KKR versus Gujarat Titans or SRH among these three.
I need two names. KKR versus who?
Okay, I'll give you four.
No.
I mean,
KKR.
honestly,
KKR versus finalist. Finalist is in two teams, not three teams.
Finalists would be so I would say I would go with SRH versus Gujarat Titans.
Great.
On paper, purely on paper. Let's see.
GT. So wait, you're saying Gujarat Titans versus
SRH.
SRH.
Yeah, because Gambhir is not here. Gambhir is out of the way, so that's why I'm not picking KKR now.
Okay. And for the record, I'm going to say it'll be GT versus SRH.
Oh, wow. That's like a hot favorite.
Yeah, GT, SRH.
MI is out of the picture.
MI is out of the picture.
Completely out of the picture. So what are you doing wearing that blue jersey?
No, Nilesh uncle, trust me, MI will do well. Don't listen to the crowd. MI will do well this season.
They will, I also believe, but they will not be in the finals.
But
no, that's what you hope.
It's higher than what they did last time.
It has been an absolute pleasure.
Sorry, go on.
It's been an absolute pleasure for us to bring you this. We certainly thank all of you for joining us. Subbu is making his debut on Cricket 360. Mohanish has been part of our panel. Rohan has been, of course, thank you to Professor Desai for making those wonderful slides. And of course, thanks to Archan, Sharvil, Panthil, and all of you who have joined us. Appreciate your time. We will be bringing this IPL show every Sunday. Whoever is going to be able to join us, we will continue this show, a weekly feed, if you will, your breakfast.
In India, currently, it's almost Monday now.
All Monday.
It's almost, and on Panthil, that's a great background that you have. I hope that brings luck to Gujarat Titans.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. It will.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining and thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you.